What's up guys, in this video I'm going to tell you the difference between buying my first property and buying my second property. How is it different? Well, I'm going to get into it in this video. Alright, so let's get into some of the differences between buying my first property and buying my second. So I actually just closed on my second deal just 2 weeks ago, so it's still very fresh in my mind. And my first property I actually closed on last October, so it's only been like 9 months since I closed on that property. So it's been very, very close together, both of these experiences, so I can give you a pretty accurate picture of what it's been like. So my first property was actually a duplex in my hometown, and I purchased it, and I'm actually either going to rent it and then also house hack in it. So that means living in it and having roommates and things like that. I remember buying it. It was a very nerve-wracking experience. I was totally new to real estate investing. I had been kind of studying and learning and watching for a long time. Honestly, a couple years before I finally pulled the trigger. I've been looking for a bunch, a deal for a long time. Putting in offers on things, looking at a lot of stuff that I really just didn't like, and then this one just, even when I first saw it, didn't really feel right, but after a couple weeks it really kind of warmed up to me, and went ahead and put in an offer, and then they accepted it. So that was super duper exciting. It was a very nerve-wracking kind of adrenaline experience. Whenever you do something new, you're not really sure how it's going to go. There's always things that even though you read all the material and all the books, you just didn't expect to happen. I learned a lot. It was a very, big crash course in financing and investment versus primary residence, getting inspections and getting all the people I needed, finding tenants, dealing with tenants. A lot of things were going on. So that property was actually a duplex. The one I just purchased is actually a single family. So, just a regular house. And, the second property, the experience purchasing it was honestly, it was very smooth, very straightforward. I already had all the critical things lined up, a good realtor, good loan officer, inspectors. I have a pretty good idea of what the rents were, what the taxes are, the insurance. I had insurance quote already. So it was, a very straightforward. I've been looking for a property like this for, basically since I closed on my duplex. And so I was, I knew immediately that it was going to be a good deal for the money that I put in an offer. I already knew, at what point I would make my money. I'm looking for a 12% return. And so I put in an offer that would get me that return. And sure enough, they accepted it. Had a lot of, it's very, very difficult to get a house under contract in this market. Honestly, I put in the offer. I was very skeptical that they would accept it. And, when my realtor called and told me that they did, I was super excited because I have a lot of friends, and talking to him, and man, he was having a lot of trouble getting offers accepted by other people. So that was a major breakthrough for me. And honestly, after the initial inspections were done, the house looks good, everything looks in good shape. I got some bids from contractors and things like that to make sure that the place was still going to work with some minor repairs and stuff like that. All the numbers checked out. And so after that, it was pretty much just a buttery smooth waiting game to just wait for the appraisals to come in, all the financing contingencies and things to be cleared out. A little bit of negotiation with the seller. I actually got some closing costs, again, unheard of in this market, because there was some things that needed to be repaired and the seller didn't want to deal with them. So they just went ahead and gave me a $4,000 closing credit, which basically combined with a lender credit, and I was in the property for just my down payment pretty much. So definitely with real estate, it's definitely a long game that probably gets easier as you go. That's been my experience so far. The initial getting into it is always hard. You have to, get a lot of contacts. You have to get a lot of experience very fast. Things may go wrong. You're just going to have to deal with your own inexperience, just not knowing how to deal with situations. But as you go, getting more properties, analyzing more deals, getting better connections, better contractors, things like that. Every subsequent property that you add is probably going to be easier than last, just because you're a lot more familiar, have more expertise, you have more friends, you know how to deal with these situations, you know how to attract better tenants, and it's just going to get easier and easier as you go, and all the cash flow and the equity you're going to keep building up is going to be easier and easier to acquire more properties. You're going to be able to eventually, put in things like cash offers and stuff like that. Now, I'm super excited to go ahead ahead and I'm already looking for my third and fourth property, and I want to acquire more every day. Guys, if you like that story, go ahead and hit the like button and then hit the subscribe button for more awesome value. If you want to get an awesome rental management software, RentRedi is the solution for you, bar none. Go ahead and hit the link in the description. Use my code DAN20 to get 20% off your subscription. And with that, guys, I will see you in the next video.